Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony, here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is another next step reading. So many of you guys have been asking me in personal readings lately, what is my next step? It's 2019, and we're all getting ready to just take a risk, take that leap of faith, and move forward. So you've probably already been getting a lot of messages through your intuition, through your higher self, through your meditations. And this is just a little reading to check and see if it's resonating. So once again, as I always say at the beginning of every reading, this is a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone, but if it does resonate, be sure to let me know below, share it, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. So let's go ahead and get started. You're going to choose a number or an object here, or a stack of cards, to get your message on what your next step is. So number 1 is the parrot feather. Number 2 is the blue jasper. Number 3 is the quartz crystal. And number 4 is the vulture feather. So go ahead and choose, and we're gonna get started. If you choose number 1, we're gonna start right now. If you choose any of the other numbers, head to the comments below where my lovely subscribers always write the timestamps for me, because I have dyslexia and I mix up the numbers all the time. So thank you guys so much for always helping me out. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. So let's start with number 1, the parrot feather. What is your next step? Very interesting message here. So what I'm seeing is that there is a decision that needs to happen in your career or with your work. So there's a big decision that needs to happen, and I kind of feel like this decision is, should I stay or should I go? You're toiling with the idea of staying dedicated to this job, but part of you really wants a new path. And I feel like it's different reasons for everyone. I'm getting a couple downloads. Some of you guys are just really physically exhausted. Some of you guys really desire more freedom. Maybe you're working the 9 to 5, or you're working overtime, or you feel like this job is just super demanding and you want more time for yourself. You want more freedom to live your life. You want more flexibility, or maybe you're just bored and you want to move into a new line of work. For some of you guys, I feel like you're really good at what you do. Some of you guys might actually be craftsmen, or perhaps using and working with your hands or building something, or this could also be a metaphor, like you're using your mind a lot, you're at the computer a lot or something like that. But I feel like you want to be out in the world. You really want to be able to manage your own time. And so some of you guys have been thinking about starting a business or something like that, or maybe just getting your resume out there again and looking for another job or another line of work. I feel like for some of you guys, the rent where you live is getting really expensive. I know in the United States, in certain areas, the cost of living is just getting higher and higher. Partly why I've been traveling more, because it's actually cheaper for me to travel the world than it is to live in my own country, which is so bizarre. I feel like there could be something like that happening, where you feel like a couple years ago you were doing pretty well and secure, but the company that you're with seems to be going under or going down or not being profitable, or the cost of living is high. And so there's just a lot. This could even have to do with a move. So there's many reasons, there's many factors. It could just be boredom. It could just be you want to change. It could be this doesn't really feel in alignment to you. It could be you're getting injured at your job or something like that. And so this is saying you have a decision to make. You're staying with this job because of the money and because of the financial security, and you're worried if you move to a different situation that it's going to change or it's going to get worse. And I see that the change could be good for you, and to stay positive about it because your freedom is totally worth it. And you are a very dedicated employee. You've been with this line of work for a long time, but there is part of you that is being called to this new path. So I feel like your first step is just making this decision and deciding, what do you really want? Do you really want to stay here? If money was no obstacle, would you stay in this job? That's a good question to ask yourself, you know? And that's how I found my way to doing fashion styling and tarot. Because if I had $1 million bajillion dollars, I would still do this. I would still do my fashion work and my makeup artist work. I would still travel. I would still do tarot. And so, but I asked myself that question a couple years ago when I was working a different job, and I was like, no, like I'm literally just doing this for the money and I don't like it. And I feel like I'm miserable here. And it's interesting, and there's part of me that does like it, but mostly if I had a lot of money, I'd probably quit this job. And so that's kind of what you need to ask yourself. If you had like $1 million bajillion dollars, would you really work this job? And if not, you got to find a creative way to get yourself out of there. And it doesn't have to be overnight. It could be little by little. I've told you guys my story a million times of how I worked for free as a fashion stylist for 10 years before I finally got my first paycheck doing that. I worked nights and weekends after I got off my day job. So, you know, you can do it little by little. You might have to hustle, but I feel like you can get out of this. And I also feel like you should follow your heart. If you are being called to go somewhere else or to try something new or to work towards a different dream or to branch off to a different company or another line of work, trust yourself. And the first step you need to take is just make this decision. Do you want to stay dedicated to this, or do you want to choose the new path? And simply by making up your mind, you'll know what your next step is from there. A door will open. You'll start getting more messages through your intuition, through your repeated thoughts and feelings. The decision you need to make is, and the step you need to take right now is about making this decision. So start there. Start there, and whatever the decision is, trust yourself. Some of you guys might decide, you know what, I've been thinking about this, but I'm going to stay dedicated, and you can go back into your job with like a renewed energy. For a lot of you guys, it is choosing the new path. And so that might mean from there, brushing up the resume or doing research. Research is probably the next step after making the decision. So your next 2 steps. Hope that resonates with you. I see a lot of freedom and positive change in your future. And thank you for coming to my channel. I'll see you later. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 2, what is your next step? Okay, so this has to do with a really big idea that you have had recently. There is a big part of you that really wants to take this risk and take this leap of faith towards this idea. And for everyone, it's different. For some people, it has to do with work. Some people, it has to do with love. For some people, it has to do with travel or just having some type of new experience or manifesting something into your life. So I'm going to count to 3 and snap my fingers. And the first thing that comes to mind, this is the idea or the thing that you are working with here. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Bam. What's on your mind right now? This is what we're talking about. It has to do with taking a risk, starting over, a new beginning in your life, having blind faith, trying something new, living in the moment, letting go of control, perhaps going on an adventure. So you want to take this risk, and it is going to help you to develop a really strong foundation in your life. I feel like this is going to be something that really changes your life, and you're going to be very fulfilled, but you've been putting this off and hesitating because you're feeling insecure. It might be like, well, what are people going to think? Or how am I going to get the means or the time or the energy to do this? Remember, first you take action, then the money comes. Then the support comes, then the help comes. So you're also a little worried about the challenges. There's some challenges to overcome, like figuring out the logistics of, like I said, how you'll get the funding or the support or the time or the energy. or the motivation to actually do this. So what I'm seeing your first step is related to this is, first of all, just to commit to this and start with the vision board. I know I've told you guys about this so many times, but for those of you guys who haven't seen it yet, check out my how to make a vision board tutorial. I'm going to link it at the end of this reading, so it'll just start playing automatically. Check out that video because I think that it will help you. I feel like that's your first step, is to just create a vision. It could be with your hands, actually creating a vision board. It could just be using Pinterest like my tutorial teaches you how to. It could be just writing a list of what you want, but it's important to have a clear vision and a clear intention. You've had this idea in your head for a while, but you need to actually figure out, what does that look like? What does that sound like? What does that feel like? Like, engage your senses, or make a list, or write out exactly what you want on a piece of paper. It's very powerful. Word is bond, you know? Your next step also has to do with branding. It might be creating a name for this vision, or like I said, creating the vision board, or maybe it is even as specific as creating a logo or hiring someone to design part of it or something like that. So that is part of the next step. I'm also seeing another message here about remembering Rome wasn't built in a day. It's going to take time to build this vision, and don't be afraid to start at the bottom. So as far as your next step, they're saying it's time to move forward on this vision and get something down on paper, or some kind of vision board is your first step. So I hope that resonates with you. Thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I'll see you later. Peace out. So for those of you guys who choose number 3, let's see what your message is. Okay, so your next step, for those of you guys who choose number 3, has to do with saving money. It could be for a couple different reasons. It could be paying off debt is part of this to help afford you more opportunities. For a lot of you guys, though, this might have to do with your home situation. Either you're looking to invest in property, or like purchase your first home, or maybe it's just as simple as like moving into a bigger apartment or just a different neighborhood. For some of you guys, it might be traveling. I always want to throw that in there because you guys know I'm a huge fan of that. Or it could be like moving out of the country or out of the state that you're in. So this is a process, and I think the message here is it's time to save. Even if you just start with like, you know, $1, $10, or €1 or whatever, a rupee or something. I feel like the message here is you need to save, and the universe will continue to be generous with you. I feel like you are actually receiving a lot of abundance, but it's slipping through your fingers, so you don't feel like you have as much abundance as you have. And when you start saving, you really start noticing how much abundance you have. It's bizarre how it works. It's going to build your confidence. It's going to make you feel more abundant. And whatever you believe you receive, when you start feeling more abundant, then more abundance comes to you. So I feel like the money thing is big for you right now, like saving the money and then being ready to invest the money in the home or the house or the apartment or something. And this is saying you just need to have the motivation to work towards your goals. This has been a goal of yours for a while, to invest in this specific thing, or perhaps to move, or to get the property, or to buy the house, or whatever. And I think that improving your credit or paying off debt could be part of this for some people, not for everyone. And they're saying, yes, this is your next step, is to start saving. So I hope that resonates with you. I see you being very successful in this next path in your life, and taking this next step is going to work out really well for you. So thank you so much for coming to my channel, and I'll see you later. Peace out. Now, for those of you guys who choose number 4, the vulture feather, what is your next step? This one's kind of funny because sometimes when you think of taking the next step, you think it's got to be this big thing, or you got to like really get out there and seize the day. But for you, the next step has to do with rest. I feel like you're that butterfly that's in the cocoon, that's really needs to be silent and still and in the moment and present. So pampering yourself, nurturing yourself is really important. healing, perhaps investing in your healing. It could be like getting a weekly massage or a facial, or going on a walk, or getting therapy or counseling, or anything that you're being guided to do that's going to help you feel like you're healing. I just see working on your healing or continuing your healing is the next step. You might feel like you're going in circles right now, or like you're not getting anywhere, but the universe is like, this is not time for you to take big action. This is time for you to rest and kind of pull back and retreat into solitude, because right around the corner, there is a really awesome opportunity that's coming in. I think that's why you're not really supposed to do anything. You're just kind of supposed to wait. And I don't feel like you're going to be waiting and resting for 6 months or for a year. Don't worry. I feel like sometimes you feel kind of guilty when you're not productive, or you feel kind of like nervous about that. But your productivity is not the end all be all. Your worth is not measured by your productivity. I'm going to say that again. Your worth is not measured by your productivity. And sometimes you got to go with the natural ebb and flow of your life and allow yourself that time to rest and heal. So maybe you have a job, you got kids, or you got stuff going on. Doesn't mean you just quit everything. It just means that not worrying so much about what you need to do next, knowing that you'll know when the opportunity comes. There is something coming into your life that's going to require your attention, and then you'll be able to take the next step. For you, the next step is more like retreating and resting. So this is the happiness card, saying that this opportunity is going to be a very happy opportunity. You're going to be very excited, a lot of joy coming into your life. It could be the opportunity to have another child, or to someone comes into your life and gives you good news, or finances, because this is kind of talking about flow and water, money perhaps. It could be almost anything. There's a lot of people doing this reading, so trust your heart. Maybe it's a manifestation and you kind of feel like it's coming soon. Maybe you kind of already know what it is, but it might surprise some of you guys. There's a surprising, happy, unexpected opportunity coming in, and the universe is trying to reassure you that you don't need to do anything right now, like you're worthy of it, and you just need to kind of chill and focus on healing and just keep living your life, and that's your next step. So interesting, right? I hope that this resonates with you. I want to thank you guys once again for coming to my channel. If you want to head over to promiseharmony.com/services, I have a love sale going on right now, and I've got some readings up. I brought my prices down a little bit recently. The holidays were my busy season, so you guys noticed my prices were like $77, $44. Now it's $33 and $65, and so definitely take advantage of that. My prices will probably be down like this until I get super busy again. So thank you guys all for your support, and anybody who's waiting for a reading right now, I just got 5 done today, and I'm working on them every single day. I give everybody my complete full energy and attention to each reading, and I really appreciate your patience. So thank you guys once again for your support, and I'm sending you guys love and light. I'll see you later. Peace out.